what level of freelancer are you? Because there are 5 levels to freelancing, and you've got some freelancers who really struggle to get work and can't really make ends meet, and then you have other freelancers who are making a ton of money and they can't even keep up with the demand of their clients. Now in this video, we're going to break down the 5 levels of freelancing. We're also going to discover the level that you're at right now, and then I'm also going to give you actionable steps for you personally to get to the next level of your freelancing career so you can progress and make more money and get more clients. So freelancer level 1, the newbie. This freelancer has never worked with a client before, but they're very passionate about learning a skill that they can eventually provide as a service in exchange for money. But the newbie freelancer is still waiting for that first critical client to trust them with a real project. Now, before this freelancer upgrades to level 2, we need to solve 2 main issues. Issue number 1 is that they don't have any evidence of the standard of work that they can provide. And issue 2 is that they don't have any online presence, so it's difficult for clients to find them. Now, we can solve issue 1 in one of 2 ways. The first way is to do some sort of spec work, which basically means that you invent a client or a project, and then you ultimately deliver that project to, well, yourself as if it was a real brief. Or secondly, like I did 13 years ago now, I started working with clients for a stupidly low amount of money just to get projects and to gain experience. Now, both approaches have pros and cons, but I would personally recommend that if you enjoy working under pressure or you want to get better at working under pressure, I would go for the second approach, because you're going to not only learn the skill that you want to provide as a service, but you're also going to learn how to work with clients, how to meet deadlines, and also how to work under pressure, which is a skill in itself. I also prefer this approach because I'm essentially getting paid to learn the skills that I need to build my freelance business, and whilst it may not be enough to pay the bills just yet, it will be when I become a level 2 freelancer, the starter. This freelancer has worked with a couple of clients and had some successful projects. They've managed to guide clients through their process, and they're starting to gain confidence that they could potentially be a full-time freelancer one day. However, level 2 freelancers need to solve these 2 main issues before they upgrade to level 3. Issue number 1 is they need to learn how to attract clients with bigger budgets. And challenge number 2 is dealing with imposter syndrome. Now, in my personal experience, there are 3 things that I did to allow me to attract higher budget clients as a freelancer. Now, the first thing I did is I made sure that I looked extremely professional, credible, and trustworthy online. The second thing I did is I developed a sales process, and I learned how to actually sell my service instead of just being an order taker. And the third thing that I did is I completely redesigned my portfolio to not just showcase the results that I can provide to clients, but also the process that I use to get there. Now, there are so many more hacks, tricks, and tips to attracting those higher budget clients, but if I included them all in this video, it would be like 9 hours long. Now, the issue with imposter syndrome is a little bit more tricky because it doesn't really start to go away until level 4, but I can give you a quick tip to help you deal with it if it does pop up. And no matter what level I was at, I always remembered that the people that I look up to within my industry, the people who are so much further ahead than me, were once worse than me at the thing that I'm doing right now. Everybody has to start somewhere, and the only difference between you and them is just time and experience. So be patient, work the process, and eventually you'll get there. But before you completely get rid of imposter syndrome, there is freelancer level 3. The professional. Now, a level 3 freelancer has a steady flow of clients coming in at all times, and they're starting to charge a little bit of a premium for their service and their time. Now, at this point, you're almost definitely making a full-time income with freelancing, and you've probably left your full-time job and you don't really need to be in your country anymore, so you can literally work from anywhere. So you've likely booked a couple of flights and you've started traveling whilst working. Now, at this point, freelancers are starting to come across slightly more strategic and complex issues. And one of those issues is strategic pricing. Now, there are many different ways to strategically structure the pricing for the services that you can provide to clients. But one of my favorite, and one which has worked for me for the past decade, is something called anchor pricing. This simply means that you tend to have 3 different options for clients. The first option is an entry-level option. The The second option is more of a standard option, and then the third option is a far more premium option. And the trick to this particular approach is to make the premium option at least 5 times more expensive than the standard option. And the reason why this particular pricing strategy is so beneficial for you and also extremely profitable for you is that one of two things will happen. Either someone actually buys the premium option, which in that case you've made a hell of a lot of money, or secondly, because the premium option is so much more expensive than the standard option, it makes the standard option look like much better value. Now, another challenge that a lot of freelancers at this level tend to come across is learning how to upsell or cross-sell their services. For example, let's say that you're making $80,000 doing logo design. At this point, you can easily attract new clients, but you're only selling one single service or product to them. When at this stage of your career, you should be looking to expand your product range to offer different types of services so that you can maximize the amount of money and profit that you can make per client as a freelancer. For example, if you're a logo designer, you could offer things like brand guidelines or brand strategy or brand naming, or even learn website development on a platform like Webflow. Now, one of the biggest issues which stop freelancers upgrading from level 3 to level 4 is that they don't work on their business, they are spending all of their time working in their business. And the only way to fix this is to ultimately start setting up systems and processes and utilizing technology to make sure that you are working as efficiently as possible and also being able to still deliver a super high quality service to your clients. However, where things really start getting interesting for you as a freelancer is level 4, when you become an expert. Now, at this point, you've got more clients contacting you than you can actually take on, and you have to start rejecting some. And you're also charging more than 99% of other freelancers within your industry. At this point in your freelance journey, as a level 4 freelancer, you need to learn how to delegate other time-consuming tasks which just suck up all your energy to other people so that they can waste their time doing it whilst you can get paid for your thinking. Because if you don't use your time in the best way possible, other people who are delegating and moving at a far faster pace than you are going to overtake you and ultimately beat you to level 5. Now, another thing that you simply have to do as a level 4 freelancer to upgrade to the next level is you need to really start to build authority online as an expert. Now, there are generally 2 different ways that you can do this. The first way is to create content on social media and courses on platforms like Udemy, Skillshare, and Creative Live. And the second way is to start some sort of academy or online coaching business where you can teach and educate the people who are a little bit further behind than you how to get to your level as soon as possible using the experience that you've accumulated over time. And if you do those things, then eventually you will reach the holy grail, level 5 as a freelancer, the celebrity. Now, when you reach level 5 as a freelancer, everyone starts to look up to you. You are essentially a god within your specific realm of expertise, and people are inspired by you. Me personally, for example, I'm extremely inspired by Alan Peters, who's an amazing logo designer, and Chris Dorr, who's just an incredible business person and seems like a really cool guy. Those 2 people inspire me very much, and I eventually want to get to that level. I want to work my way to becoming a very well-respected person within my area of expertise, which is branding. Now, at this point, when you become a level 5 freelancer, it all becomes about legacy and building something that is so much bigger than yourself. You've did all the hard work, you have the battle scars, you've earned your stripes, and now it's time for you to pass that experience and all of those things that you've learned onto the next generation. This means educating others, writing books, sharing experiences through content, and ultimately just becoming the celebrity that you've worked so hard to become. Now, I'm kind of roughly around level 4 right now, but I'd love to know what level you think you're at, or if you think this leveling system is just complete bollocks. So yeah, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. See you then.